So I don't play a team sport. I always wish I did. I played piano instead growing up. But around in my university years, I realized the importance of exercise and moving my body and how that made me feel. And I still do that. I love Peloton, so I do the cycle, the strength, the yoga. But I need to do it every day, not just, for my physical strength, which is a bonus, but for my mental health. So I think it's awesome that you guys are part of this team and you move your bodies all the time. So that's amazing. In my spare time, I love to bike around the neighborhood with my kids. I'm often at the rink. They're both at power skating right now. And I have to admit, I didn't know the difference between ringette and hockey. So I Googled it. So I know some differences now. And I'm proud to say that I know that, right? I bet everyone thinks hockey's the same as ringette, but it's not. So when it comes to food and health, I find that there's a lot of information out there. So tonight what I want to do is bring it back to the basics, but I also want to be a little specific about what's going to fuel your body before and after games, but also what you learn here you can take with you and do every day. So a couple of the questions, I'll start with one of the questions that I got a few of, and that has to do with water. So we all have our water bottles here, and we often hear we have to drink more water. Does anyone know why? Any ideas? Yeah?
To stay hydrated?
Yes. Anyone know why we have to stay hydrated?
Not to get headaches?
Yeah, headaches is one of them. That's really good. Oftentimes, a headache will come out of nowhere, and you might think, oh, I forgot to drink my water today, right? Another really important part of drinking water is healthy digestion. So your overall health starts with your digestion. Water helps you digest your food properly, which is so important for eliminating waste. If you don't, you get really sick. So that's another important thing. It's also really good for your skin. The other thing too is if you're drinking water all day, there's not much room for other types of drinks, which are typically high in sugar, like sports drinks, pop, that kind of thing. And if you drink sports drinks, that was another question, even if it's right before a game, you're gonna get a really big hit of sugar, and that's gonna give you energy for like a really short period of time, and then you're gonna crash. So you wanna just drink water before and after games. That's kind of the theme. So you also want to make sure with your water drinking that you don't drink it with meals. Does anyone do that when they're having like bites of food and they take sips of water the whole time? No? Some people? So it's best to drink your water before and after meals so you don't dilute really important stomach acid. So you want your stomach acid to be really strong so it can digest your food properly and you get all the nutrients from the peaches that you're eating or the salad. You wanna make sure you get everything you need. Okay, so how much water should we be drinking every day? Yeah.
2 liters.
At least 2 liters of water a day. Probably more when you're in a game situation, or even more if you have like multiple games in a day, so like a tournament or something. So 2.5. So that looks like that could mean, what does that mean, right? So this bottle here, I brought this one. This is 32 ounces. So this would be, it would be about 2.5 or 3 of these a day. So are those the bottles that you take to school?
No.
Sometimes?
Mine is 36 ounces.
36 ounces, okay, so I'm seeing that one a lot. So you'd want to fill that up. How often do you fill it up? Do you remember? Oh my goodness, okay, so you're already killing it. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. The other thing you can get is one of these. So a lot of my clients will say, I forget to drink water. Like I've heard that excuse so many times. So you can get this on Amazon for like $15. You don't need to bring this to school. This is crazy. And I don't know if you could take this in your backpack. But this would be helpful, I think, on a game day or if you're going to be out all day and you're not moving around like, on a bike or something. But take this with you. This is 3 liters. So it would be filling it up to the point that you'd need to fill it up, but that could help too, just as a visual and a reminder. I have this at home. Every time I walk by, I just fill up my glass, and then I know by the end of the day that I've hit my water goal. So it's a good way of kind of keeping you on track. All right, so we've always been told that eating our vegetables is important to us, important to do. Anyone know why? Any ideas? Yeah.
Because it's like healthy, like the healthy part.
Yes, yeah. I mean, there's tons of vitamins and nutrients in vegetables, but and that's true, but the two features I love the most about vegetables is they're high in fiber. So you're gonna hear me talk about fiber a lot tonight. The reason I love fiber is because it's really good for your digestion. We talked about healthy digestion being a theme. But also, when you have food with fiber, which is a complex carbohydrate, when you eat those types of foods before a game, you get that glucose you need for energy, but it's like stable energy. So instead of sugar, which goes boom and then you crash, fiber keeps you stable energy. So that's the great thing about vegetables, one of the great things. The other thing is they have something called phytonutrients in them. I know that's kind of sciencey, but basically what it is the plant, it protects the plant from illness and disease, like out in nature. So the cool thing is when you eat those vegetables yourself, you also get protected from illness and disease because you're no good to your team if you're sick, right? So vegetables are gonna keep your immune system really strong. They're the food that has the most variety of vitamins and minerals. You couldn't get it from if you took supplements all day long. So you need to add veggies. Now, when I say vegetables, there's different categories of vegetables, and sometimes I find this makes it a little easier to think about how you would actually get 3 to 4 cups of vegetables a day, because that's how much we should be getting. So the first category is leafy greens. Can anyone give me an example of a leafy green?
Lettuce.
Yes, lettuce. Yep. Kale, yep. Yep. Okay, so yeah, those are kind of my top leafy greens. Romaine lettuce I love as well, so that's like the really crunchy, it has the crunchy center. What about crunchy vegetables? Yeah? Yes? Yes?
Carrot.
Yep. Yep. Anyone else? Yep. Yes. Yep. Yeah.
Peppers.
Yes. So those are your crunchy vegetables. Then what about cruciferous vegetables?
Broccoli.
Yeah.
What's a cruciferous?
So a cruciferous vegetable, broccoli is one of them. Cauliflower. There's a lot of them. There's like Brussels sprouts, cabbage, arugula, and they all kind of have that funky smell, but they're really, really good for you. Those, I don't like to discriminate against vegetables because I love them all, but these are like the premium vegetables. So they help fight cancer. They just have really, really awesome qualities. So those are really important to include every day if you can. We'll talk about ways that you can do that after. What about examples of root and squash?
Sweet potato.
Sweet potato, yeah.
Potato.
Yes, white potatoes, yeah.
Potatoes.
Yep.
Carrot.
Carrots, yeah. Yeah, that's a root vegetable, yeah.
Wait, acorn.
Yep.
Carrots and acorn.
Yes.
And then radishes.
Radishes, those actually are a cruciferous vegetable. Yeah. And also kind of a crunchy vegetable. Yeah, butternut squash, acorn squash. So those are kind of your starchy vegetables. That's an example of a really good carbohydrate that would give you long-lasting energy before a game. What about fermented vegetables?
What kind are those?
I feel like who's the Korean barbecue? Okay, kimchi. So kimchi is a fermented vegetable, same with sauerkraut. Has anyone ever tried sauerkraut?
Kimchi's a vegetable?
It is.
I thought it was meat.
No, I think she did say steak, but when she said Korean beef, okay.
There's bones, and then it's like beef.
Okay.
It's, I don't know, it's a type of beef.
Okay, so different than just beef, it's
Yeah.
specific. Okay, So what usually comes with Korean food is kimchi. So it's basically a fermented cabbage with lots of spices and herbs and that kind of thing. But because it's fermented, it's really good for your digestion. So you want to try and get a variety of fermented foods. Another example is plain yogurt. So all of that is really good for your gut, your digestion. And then there's the aromatic vegetables, which can smell good or not. Onion, garlic, herbs, that kind of thing. Yeah. What were you going to say? Oh, ginger, yes. Yeah, ginger is also a root, but yes, yeah.
I just don't like it.
So if you were going to try to include 3 to 4 cups of vegetables every day, let's start with the leafy greens. Other than a salad, how could you include them? Yes, you could put kale in a smoothie. So I don't know if you had a chance to look at the meal plan I gave you, but I gave you so many different ideas for smoothies. So those are going to be your best friend when you're coming home from a game or a practice. You can bring it with you, like in, one of those mason jars with the lid. You can make one of those and take it with you, and you can put protein powder in there, or you can put Greek yogurt. But that's the best way to get kale or spinach, like a leafy green, and you can get all your vegetables in one smoothie. Yeah.
What if you don't like the taste of kale?
So kale has a stronger taste. To that, I would say spinach. You cannot taste spinach, I promise. Especially if you have like a good protein and yogurt, and you can put peanut butter in there, like blueberries, any fruit that you like.
What if you don't like smoothies?
If you don't like smoothies.
Like every smoothie that someone's made, it's chunky.
So I have a lot of recipes. So and you know what you need too is a good blender.
We have a blender.
Do you have a good one?
Yeah, we just got a new one.
Okay. Yeah, so try a bunch of different recipes. Sometimes you just have to tweak it yourself and find what you like. And you can have some more fruit in there. It doesn't have to be, full of greens, but you can put a couple handfuls in at least, and then that's your leafy greens, right? What about crunchy vegetables? What's a way that you could get those really easily? Yeah.
In your lunch.
Yeah, exactly. Lunch and snacks. That's like the easiest way to do it. And especially the vegetables that you don't have to chop. So someone said snap peas, baby carrots, like those you can just grab. You can even get the green beans.
What would avocado be?
Avocado it's more of a fat, so we'll talk about that a bit later, but it's also, I think, considered a fruit. I never really know, but you can put avocado in a smoothie, yeah, for sure. Okay, there you go. Some people don't like avocado except in a smoothie, so.
I don't taste it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Also, with the bell pepper,
Yeah.
you can still put it on your lunch. You can get like the tiny mini ones.
That's true. That's a really good thought. I didn't think about that. Yeah, so crunchy veg is the best for snacks and in your lunch. What about cruciferous vegetables? That's a little bit more tricky because these taste the best. Yep.
You can still have like cauliflower and broccoli.
You can, yes. If you like them raw, that's amazing and good for you. They're really good raw. And if you chop them really fine, they're good too. Yep.
Like at dinner.
At dinner, yes. So that's where your parents may have to come in and, you mix it with some olive oil and some salt and pepper, and they can roast it in the oven. Has anyone ever had kale chips? Yeah? They're good too. So you can roast kale, eh? Okay. Yep.
The only good way to have cauliflower cooked is that you roast it.
Yep.
And for Brussels sprouts, the same thing.
Yes.
It's really disgusting.
Yeah, roasted, those types of vegetables taste the best roasted. And as long as they're still a little bit crunchy, you're still getting the health benefits from them. And it's okay to put a little Parmesan cheese if you want. That's fine. I know it's the best. I do that every time. So there's lots of ways to incorporate vegetables. The other thing I like to tell my clients is when you look at your plate, half your plate should be vegetables. So any type that you like. And trying to think about getting 3 to 4 cups a day. So in a smoothie, for snacks, or with your lunch, and then with your dinner. So, any questions about veggies? I love that we've talked about vegetables for so long. Yeah.
When you're having pasta,
Yeah.
like not a pasta with veggies in it.
Yeah.
Do you just like not have veggies, or do you like have it like on a like other plate?
You could make a salad, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
What kind of vegetables are corn and peas?
Corn and beans?
No, corn and peas.
Oh, corn and peas. So corn I would say is a vegetable, but it's more of like a carbohydrate vegetable. So like in the potato family, because it's very starchy. And then beans or peas are a legume. So that's like with black beans, kidney beans, chickpeas, that kind of thing. Okay, so let's move on. I got a lot of questions about the best meals and snacks that you want to have either before or after games. So that brings me to our next kind of major topic, and that's the macronutrients. So that is protein, complex carbohydrates, and fats. So those three things should be, on your colorful handout there. You should include one from each category at every meal. And the reason you need them all because they all have different qualities. So you need them to perform your best. So the thing is some of them you need before games, more of. Some of them you need more of after games. So we'll talk a little bit more about what those are. Also, not all macronutrients are the best choices. So we're going to talk about what the best choices are for you to get just so that you can function your best and have the most energy. So let's talk about protein first. Can someone give me an example of a complete protein?
Steak.
Steak is a complete protein, yes. Chicken. Yep. Tofu, yes. Eggs, yep. Shrimp, yes. Tuna, yeah. So fish, Eggs, yep, that was said. Eggs are amazing. So beans are actually a carbohydrate. They have a little bit of protein, but they're missing some of the amino acids. So I would put them in the carb category. Still very good for you.
But there's beans in my protein.
Yes, so they have some protein, but they also have some carbohydrates. So purely proteins are eggs, fish, poultry, beef, or pork, plain yogurt. So we've only talked about kind of meat and fish. Plain yogurt is one of my favorite proteins. It's so easy, you don't have to cook it. And you can mix it with delicious things like fruit and peanut butter, and it's a really easy way to get protein. Same with quinoa is a complete protein. Hemp seeds. Has anyone ever tried hemp seeds?
What is that?
So hemp seeds are a seed, and they're also a complete protein. So you can take a scoop or two and put it in your smoothie. You can put it on a salad, you can put it in oatmeal, you can put it in yogurt. It's like the easiest way to get a complete protein. So quinoa is also a seed and it's a complete protein. So it has complete protein, but it's also a carbohydrate. So it's actually a really great thing to make. You can mix in your vegetables in there and make like a quinoa salad, and then you don't need to cook any meat or anything. So yeah.
What are chia seeds in like this thingy?
So chia seeds are a healthy fat. So that list is definitely not exhaustive. So we'll talk about chia seeds, but yeah, they're a healthy fat. They also have a bit of protein and a bit of fiber as well. So the reason that it's important to get protein after a game is because it helps rebuild your muscles, especially because you're still growing. So you need protein at every meal, and it needs to be a complete protein. It can't be missing anything. So all the foods we just talked about, like your chicken, steak, hemp seeds, quinoa, eggs, those are all things to include in your diet every day. The other thing about protein is it helps you feel satisfied after a meal. So sometimes when you were to maybe eat just a plate of pasta, you feel satisfied for a little bit, but your energy goes like this, and then you crash. Whereas when you have a complete protein, your energy stays like this. So it's good to have a little bit of protein before a game as well. Okay, so let's move on to the next category, the healthy fats. So fish is a protein, but there's also certain fish that are also healthy fats, like salmon is a healthy fat, avocado, like we talked about, cheese, nuts and seeds, like chia seeds, Walnuts are great, almonds, eggs and hemp, also proteins, but also healthy fats. So eggs and hemp, amazing to eat because you get both, right? Both macros.
Does cheese have protein in it too?
It does, yes. So it's also a complete protein, but it's more of a fat. Yeah. So we need healthy fats, just like protein, to feel satisfied for longer, like we talked about, because we don't want to do that crash and spike, right? The other thing about healthy fats, though, is it keeps our heart healthy. It keeps our brain healthy. It's good for our immune system. So again, we talked about if you're getting sick, you can't play. So healthy fats are really important to include. And in your meal plan, I included a lot of sunflower butter. So that's great to take to school because it's a seed, like a sunflower seed. But when you're at home and not in school, you can eat almond butter or peanut butter. Those are great ways to get those types of healthy fats too. Avocado. And the other thing is it supports your nervous system. So when you think of nervous system, think of nervous or anxiety or stress. So healthy fats can actually help you not feel so stressed or anxious if that ever happens to you in your day. It can also help you with your mood. If you feel you have a low mood, healthy fat can help with that because it supports your nervous system. And it helps your body absorb other really important vitamins like vitamin D and vitamin A. So again, really important to include with each meal. And the next macronutrient I want to talk about is complex carbohydrates. Now, when I say complex, it just means that they have fiber in them. So when you guys talked about pasta, you can definitely have pasta, but choose like a whole wheat pasta or a chickpea pasta. Those have fiber in them. So if you just choose a white pasta, your energy goes bing and then crash. So you want to have a complex carb that keeps you nice and steady with fiber. You can also have sweet potato, white potato, squash, all those kind of root vegetables we talked about earlier. Those are all examples of complex carbohydrates. The great thing about complex carbs is it gives you that hit of glucose that you want. So there was a question about the sports drink. So yes, a sports drink will give you that sugar really fast, crash. Complex carbohydrate will give you that sugar that you need to perform, but then you'll keep going like this. So it's like a long burn of energy. So you want to make sure you get a meal that is heavier in complex carbohydrates before a game, and then heavier in protein after a game or practice. So let's start with breakfast, because it's the first meal of the day. And just a note about breakfast, I had a comment over here, sometimes I don't eat breakfast. It's so important to eat breakfast, I feel like we all know this, but the reason it's so important, you should try and eat 2 hours within waking up. So sometimes if you can't eat right away, I understand that, but 2 hours you should eat something with protein, healthy fats, and a complex carbohydrate because it's going to give you energy for the day to learn and to move your body. Otherwise, your energy is going to crash, and that's not good. Okay, so breakfast. What did you come up with?
A blueberry yogurt and avocado.
I love that. Yes, blueberry yogurt and avocado toast. So the yogurt is the protein, the avocado is the healthy fat, and the toast is the complex carbohydrate, as well as, did you guys know that fruits are also a complex carbohydrate? So they have fiber and sugar. So anytime you have fiber, it's a complex carbohydrate. So that's really good because you get the sugar, but the fiber, so your energy stays stable. Way to go. Good job. Oh, and the toast, is it white or whole grain? Nice, added fiber. Okay, lunch.
Okay. We have a chicken parm spinach pasta.
Chicken? Okay, hold on. I have to write that down.
A chicken parm spinach pasta. So Parmesan cheese on top.
Okay.
So it's pasta and it has like cheese sauce, like the
Tomato sauce with like tomato inside of it.
Okay, I like that.
The chicken.
Yep. Some Parmesan cheese on top. I like that. So So there's different, like I said, there's healthier choices in each category. So with your pasta, would it be like a white pasta, a quinoa pasta, a chickpea pasta, or a whole wheat pasta?
Whole wheat.
Whole wheat is good. Chickpea is good. Which other one did I say? You can also get quinoa pasta.
The green one.
The green one?
Yeah. Green one.
I don't know if I've ever seen it.
Very easy.
You can get a lot of different types of legume pastas right now, like black bean pasta, which is black, chickpea pasta, which looks like regular pasta. But the point is you want a pasta that also has fiber, again, because you want that steady energy. So this meal, would this be better for before or after a game? Yeah, because it's carb heavy, complex carb heavy. The chicken is the protein. Parmesan cheese is a great also source of protein and healthy fat, and you've got your spinach. And I think I heard tomato sauce, right? So that's a vegetable sauce as well. Tomatoes are actually better for you when you cook them, so that's a bonus. Okay, dinner.
So, on the menu tonight,
Yeah.
we have steak.
Okay.
And carrots and potatoes.
Okay.
And butter on the steak, potatoes and carrots.
Butter on the steak, I like it. Okay, so you have, was it potato and carrots, right? Okay, so both of those vegetables are good for you, and both of them are roots and in the root category, right? So that's also a carbohydrate, which is fine, but try to include a green one in there too. So I would do, like carrots and broccoli, or potatoes and broccoli, or lettuce, yeah.
A salad on the side. Potato.
And a salad on the side, yeah, that's an easy way to do it.
A salad with a steak.
What about a Caesar salad? Okay, so my only thing about steak, and I love steak, everyone said steak a lot.
Red meat, right?
It is. So the thing with red meat is it's not a lean protein. So it's higher in saturated fats. So it's okay to have once a week, but your main protein should be chicken or turkey or fish. And also, if you're gonna have a big steak before a game, or a beef burger before a game, it's gonna sit really heavy because it's harder to digest. So we'll stick to lean protein. So red meat should really be, I would say, once or twice a month.
Doesn't it also like something in your blood system?
It could be bad for you if you have high blood pressure, but I don't think anyone here has that yet. When you get older, it's more of a concern.
It's like not red meat. It's like every
Okay, so
steak, red meat.
yeah, so every animal with 4 legs.
No, but you can
Is
still
red
have
meat.
It, or just don't have it often. So it's
Okay, let's hear from the snack group.
so
Mhm.
our snack is plain yogurt.
Yeah.
Greek yogurt. Oh, Greek yogurt.
Yep.
Yes. Great.
Okay.
And almonds.
Oh, I love it. Yep. Great. Yeah.
Or like a smoothie.
Yeah.
With like yogurt.
Yeah.
Peaches, bananas.
Yeah.
Peaches.
Yeah.
And milk.
And milk. Okay. I love it. So, pardon? An avocado. Okay. Yeah, so smoothies, I think if you girls can nail a smoothie that you really like, I think that's going to be one of your go-tos that you can take along with you after games and practices, because you can put protein powder in there. So you can find really good protein powder. You can put hemp seeds in there, which is a healthy fat and a protein. You can get your spinach in there. And what am I missing? Yeah, so that's it. And yeah, hemp or chia seeds. And then you can also make it sweet by adding fruit. So tonight my kids went to power skating. So what I did was I put it in, like, do you have a little cooler bag that you could take along?
No, but it like rises up.
Yeah.
And then all the juice comes down, and it just looks too gross. I'm like,
So
I cannot.
you have to put it in a mason jar so you can shake it so it doesn't do that, because I know what you mean. And then you need a little ice pack.
One time, my mom left me smoothie in the car for too long. It got really hot, and it exploded.
Oh.
The whole car was
So you have a trauma. You have a smoothie trauma story. So the other thing you can do, and we can talk about this, we can talk about it now. So I don't know how much time you have sort of before You maybe sit on the couch and watch Netflix at night, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You can also kind of put together a little snack that you could take along. So something like an energy ball. Does anyone like to bake or cook?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a really good one.
Okay. Or like little no-bake protein balls. So I think I put 1 or 2 recipes like that in your meal plan, but basically you can add protein powder or hemp seeds, you can add almond butter, mashed banana, I think, or something like that, or some applesauce, and you can just make little energy balls or protein balls and freeze them and then take them along with you. That would probably be easier than a smoothie sometimes. If you can pull a smoothie together, then that would work too. Okay, so we've talked a lot about food. The next thing I sort of want to talk about is not just your physical health, but your mental health. So we're going to talk a little bit about stress. So when you're stressed out, it can kind of cause like a domino effect in your body, and it can affect different hormones in your body, and that can affect your immune system. And you can get sick more easily when you're under stress. So you might even have times during the day at school when you feel anxious, something like that. So I also teach yoga. So there's one breathing exercise that I love to teach, and it's really easy. And a lot of athletes use this breathing exercise before a game. So it's called box breathing. So the reason everyone's talking about breathing in meditation is because everyone's really stressed out, and we need to have coping mechanisms that are healthy that's going to help us calm down if we're feeling stressed or anxious. So the way box breathing works is you breathe in through your nose for a count of 4 seconds. Then you hold your breath at the top for 4 seconds. Then you exhale out your mouth with pursed lips, like you're going to whistle, for 4 seconds. And you do it 4 times. So should we try one round? Yeah.
After you breathe out, you hold it like at the bottom for 4 seconds too, or no?
No. And with your exhale, it can be longer than 4 seconds. You want to make sure, if you picture your lungs like a balloon, you want to make sure you empty everything out. So all that stale air. Okay, so let's try on the count of 3. We'll all take our inhale, okay? 1, 2, and you might want to sit up so that you can really get in there. Yep. Okay, on the count of 3, I want you to close your eyes. Close your eyes first. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Breathe in through your nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it at the top for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale with your lips pursed for 1, 2, 3, 4, or longer. Nice. So that's something that you can practice anytime you're feeling overwhelmed. And if you don't want to make it too obvious, it can be as simple as taking a deep inhale through your nose. Like, have you ever seen someone do that when they're stressed? And like blow it out? There's a reason for it. And it physically calms you down. So the other topic I want to talk about other than food is sleep. So there's a few tips I'll give you, because we're sort of running out of time, a few tips to give you a better quality sleep. So when possible, this might not always be possible on nights like this or if you have things going on, but try to go to bed and wake up at the same time every night. Yeah.
So go to bed at 6:30 and wake up at 6:30?
No. I mean, like, if you typically go to bed at 10, try to go to bed at 10 every night. Yeah. No. So, and then, like, instead of on a Saturday sleeping until, like, late, try to get up around the same time that you would during the week.
Let me, they're like sleeping, it's the weekend.
Yeah. So, the other thing is move your body, but you move your body a lot, yeah?
Why is it important to like not sleep in on the weekends?
It's something to do with your circadian rhythm. So like your body has a rhythm, and believe it or not, you feel less tired if you're in the same rhythm all the time. So sound machines can help if you're like waking up a lot in the night. Sometimes if you wake up and you have a disrupted sleep, sound machines can help. Same with a fan or a cool room. The other thing is trying not to look at your phone like too much before bed, because blue light can reduce your quality of sleep, unless you have the blue light glasses and you absolutely have to. And also trying to avoid food too close to bedtime. So I would say try to be at least an hour before eating, because otherwise your body is digesting food when it's supposed to be sleeping and you wake up feeling more tired. So
Instead of like noises when you go to bed, what about music?
you could do music. I mean,
Very low and like
yeah.
it turns off, but like you say turn off by like
Yeah, if it helps you like fall asleep, yeah. I think anything that helps you get like calm your body, so like reading, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you have to have a snack after sport,
Yeah,
but then you also need to go to bed.
yeah,
And like, I have to go to bed like 6 times.
yes,
So like sometimes it doesn't like work
yeah,
because like I have like Ringette too close to when I'm supposed to go to bed.
yeah.
And I go like really late times.
So try not to make it like a really heavy type of snack or food. So we talked about something with protein. So, you know, bringing, another thing I thought that was easy, and this is actually moves on to my next kind of topic, is you can, every night, you know, trying to put a little something together for yourself. So having those little mason jars where you could do frozen berries at the bottom, yogurt on top, and then some peanut butter on top, and like a little bit of honey or something. So taking that along for after a game or practice would be perfect. It's not very big, it's not difficult to make, and it's not like a heavy protein like a steak. You don't want that before bed. Yeah, little mason jar yogurt parfaits. Those are sort of my favorite things to make. It's just easy to take along because it has a lid. You know, or any other Tupperware is fine, like plastic container, yeah.
Would it be like, is it just like, eat it like that?
Yeah, that's right. Just take a spoon and then you can mix it or you don't have to. You know the fruit on the bottom yogurt? Like, it's kind of like what you're making yourself. But the thing about those fruit yogurts is they're really high in sugar. And there was some questions about sugar. And the thing with sugar is the more sugar you have in your diet, the more you crave. So it also gives you that spike of energy and your crash. It can also make you feel like kind of happy right away, and then you don't have it and you feel kind of like sad. So as much as you can, try not to grab packaged foods that have added sugar. So take a look at the little labels on the side and see, like, is there added sugar in here, or the ingredients? If the first ingredient is sugar, try and stay away from it. There's always a type of food that you can get without it. Yeah.
What about Cliff Bars?
Cliff Bars are pretty high in sugar. If I could recommend a bar, I love Lara bars. Those are very good for before games.
But like this big, like not a little.
Yeah.
Cliff Bars, I have like a whole box of them.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a box of crunchy peanut butter.
Yes. So I would probably do that before a game. I don't know if they have fiber, I'm not sure. If they do, that's a bonus, because they also have protein.
They have nuts in them.
Yes. Yeah, and healthy
But
fat.
it's not like peanut butter. It's actually like nuts.
Yes. Yeah, that's great. The other ones I really love are those Love Good Fats bars. Has anyone seen those? Those are protein, fiber, and healthy fats, but really low in sugar. So they're gonna give you like really stable energy. So, you know, a major theme is trying to avoid packaged foods that have lots of sugar, because it's just gonna give you that spike and crash. And you wanna have energy for your whole game, right? So sticking to things like fruit with the skin on is really important. Fruit has sugar, but it also has fiber. Finding snacks with protein, healthy fats, things like that. Okay, so there was a question, a lot of the questions I got were about quick snacks or quick lunches that you can probably make yourself in a few minutes at home if you have like 5 to 10 minutes. So I'll give you some of those ideas. So does anyone like bringing boiled eggs or egg salad to school? Maybe? Okay, that's one idea. Not everyone's gonna like everything, but boiling eggs, that's an easy one. Yeah, okay. What about edamame? Has anyone ever tried that?
Wait, what?
Edamame, so it's the soybeans in the shell or out of the shell? Yes. So yeah, you can put a little oil and salt on, so that's a protein snack. What about deli meat? Turkey? So what you can do this, is you roll it up, you put spinach in there, pepper, hummus, and roll it up. So you do turkey roll-ups. You can take like 4 or 5 of those with you to school for lunch. Yep. Well, thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate your time and your questions, and I hope this was helpful. Thank you.
All right, ladies, shoes on. You're doing a lap to warm up.
A lap?
A lap.
Yeah.